welcome to another edition of Omoko of the Week. I'm your host, Victoria Yahaya Opale. Thank you for joining us. Okuland is endowed with illustrious sons and daughters who have done well in various fields of life. And on Omoko of the Week today, I have the rare privilege of hosting Otumba Arogundade Peter Sunday, popularly known as APS. Welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Omoko of the Week.
Thank you.
Who is APS?
Yeah, APS simply Adedayo Peter Sunday. But my full name is Chief Dr. APS Arogundade. But across the board, whether within or without, people prefer to call me APS, which is just my initials, which stand for Adedayo Peter Sunday. And whether status, class of men doesn't really matter, young and old.
Okay.
So, and some don't even know who is APS, but they just like the word APS.
APS. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
like it to APS. So please, can you tell us about your childhood experience, your clan, your background?
Like I said, my name is Chief Dr. APS Arogundade. I grew up in Ogale some years back, over 60 years ago, and I was brought up as a farmer. I'm happy to tell people anywhere I go that I'm a village man. A village man to the core, because at school in Ogale, that's the primary school, St. Patrick Anglican School there. Then from there I proceeded to St. Barnabas Secondary School, Kabo.
Okay.
And in those days there's no light anywhere. There was no light. So they only say typical village man then. So I think I qualified to be one. So before proceeding to Ilorin, from my Cambridge A level, then later to University of Lagos, where I read computer science. I graduated with BSc Computer Science and Mathematics. So ever since that time, I have been in the IT industry, moving from government establishment to multinationals, and later to a private company. For my company today, Sigma Technologies, founded by 5 indigenous Nigerians. When I say indigenous Nigeria means we are people who grew up, who believe in Nigeria, and we came together from different parts of the country. One from Akwa Ibom, one from Ekiti, one from Osun, one from Imo, and myself from Kogi State. So we have been together for that over 28 years now, doing the IT business. So aside from that, I'm also a community leader. So rooted back home, try to see what we can give back to the community. And we thank God we are still alive today.
From my little interaction with you, I discovered that you have passion for community development. Can you tell us what brought about your passion for community development?
Yeah, like I said, I am a village man and as a community leader. So you put the two together. So the issue of community development must definitely come in. Yeah. Because having grew up among the people in the community, having known the challenges around us here, and I think the best thing to do is to give back to the community where you can help to put one or two together to see what improvement or what development can be taken or brought into focus. So I don't just do that with that in mind. So I have passion for the youth, whether within the church or outside the church. So, and that's why I have an LGO called APS Youth Foundation.
Okay, what's Youth Foundation is all about?
APS Youth Foundation basically is to address the need of the needy and the poor. So, and that's basically what we try to do. And what do I mean, the needy and the poor? When we grew up, we discover the path we have taken is not easy. It was more of a sacrifice. So, and many of us, whatever you cannot get from your dad or your mom in those days, you better forget it. Nobody was ready to assist. So I believe part of my own contribution is to see there are people who want to go to school. Okay. And there are people who are in school then and even up to now in school but have no other means of eating. They have to struggle to eat, and then after struggling to eat, they struggle to read. So the two, in most cases, are not compatible. So we believe that there's a level of comfort you can have, and you have enough time for yourself to study. So, and that's why the APS Youth Foundation was introduced, basically to give scholarship to the needy, those who really need it, and so that they can face their studies. And it cut across to the two sexes, both female and male. So everybody needs help and need their support. So that's basically what we do. And aside from scholarship, we also try to empower some people who are out of school, who have nothing to do, or have nothing to move forward. If there's no jobs, I think there should be other alternatives in terms of entrepreneurship. So we try to come in that way too, to empower some people in one way or the other, in our little way.
Thank you very much. So we'll now come to family life now.
Yeah.
How did you meet your wife? Let's start.
Okay. And at the time I was transferred to Port Harcourt, working with Shell Petroleum. So, and I call it a divine arrangement. Okay. That's where I met her. And I was ready to marry then, so, and I was far away in Port Harcourt, River State. Wow. So I have no alternative than to look for somebody who I can marry. Fortunately for me, or fortunately for her, we met.
For both of you?
For both of us.
Okay.
So that's how we met. And I think we courted like about two years before we got married. Okay. Yeah.
So what's the family life like?
And we are married, and we are blessed with 2 children, a boy and a girl. Wow. So to the glory of God, the two of them are doing fine. Okay. And so that's what we have as a family.
Otumba, you mentioned St. Barnabas Secondary School as one of the schools you went to.
I attended.
Can you still remember some of your classmates? Or whether you are still in touch with some of them?
Yes.
Okay.
We are still in touch with many of them, okay. Like Chief Arogundade. Okay. He's a barrister practicing in Kabade. We have the like of Pastor Arogundade. He retired from banking and is now a full-time pastor with Rudio. I have the like of Dari Oluyori, the like of Dr. Osatogbe. Okay. That one is in UK. Okay. I have the like of many of them. I continue to mention. Okay. That one may occupy our time.
Okay. Can you still remember some of the adventures you took, or how life was those days in school at that time? And tell us
at that time, life was up and down. Okay. One, I remember a day I have to trek all the way from Ogale to Kaba. So just to go and resume. Wow. And in those days too, If the school resumes, let's say this week, my
Okay.
dad will say we should wait. They are not doing anything in school yet. So we use another 1 week in the farm
Wow.
before going to the school. So, but by and large, with us, very interesting because it's a missionary school, and we're always looking forward to a new session where they will give us a new uniform.
Wow.
And,
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
Wow.
So, and each time I get a new one, me too. I used to dance some of the old one out. So people who went to outco that doesn't, who are not opportunity to have a free uniform.
You say you were always anxious to resume. Were you just anxious to resume because of school uniform or because you want to run away from the family? No, that's the truth now.
Maybe the two. I can say the two. Because one, but basically just to run away from the farming activities.
Now you are talking.
Like you are going on a mission, freedom-free mission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Freedom-free mission.
Okay. That's very good. Do you have favorite colors?
Yeah, of course I have white specifically. I have greens and at times yellow.
Why white?
White because white.
What about favorite food?
Favorite food, no. Like I told you, I'm a village man.
Oh.
So the only favorite food we have as a village man is padaya. And in those days I can eat padaya 4 times. Wake me up for 12 midnight, I will eat padaya.
Wow.
But the age is setting in now, so I'm reducing.
Okay.
But in those days when they give you rice, they will say, onjeye. That means rice is meant for the birds of the air, not for... And anything outside padayam too, is as if this is a lazy man eating eba in those days, or amala. Those are the things in those days.
Development, working, the family, how do you combine all those things together?
Yes, maybe because the way I was brought up. In those days when we were in primary school, we would go to the school in the morning, and before going in the morning, we sweep around in the compound, carry bucket, there was no borehole then, you carry bucket to the stream, fetch water, and when you go to the school, after finishing, at the close of the school, we come home, whatever food my mother had for us, you hold the food, you cannot sit down to eat, you hold that food and you start eating on your way to the farm to join my father. So those... On daily basis? On daily basis.
Wow.
So, and this thing cut across from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, very early in the morning, you are on your way to the farm. And if you are unfortunate, some of the Sundays, before you go to church, you must go to the farm to go and check whether your trap has something or not.
You see set trap?
Yeah.
Wow.
So because we love eating bushmeat, especially grass cutter.
Okay, that's good.
So, and those are things that build us up. Already we are used to doing so many things at a younger age.
Okay.
From sweeping, going to the farm to do the work of the farm, going to school, and then going to church. So everything encompassing. So when you now grow up and working, so it's very easy to combine the work in the church with your professional job, combined with community activities, and still have your social life.
Wow.
So, and those are things that makes life not too boring, but maybe enjoyable.
Okay. Yeah. So, what is your advice now to the younger generation coming up?
My advice, first and foremost, is for them to learn how to be focused. Focus, know where they are going, because from my background, my father was a farmer, my mother was a petty trader. So if I follow their footsteps, I shouldn't be a graduate in the first instance, because nobody to guide me. But despite the fact that they are not educated, like my father would say, he was not educated, but he's a learned person. That means he knows his left from your right and know what to do. So, but when you put it in the open language, me okawe but mokawe.
Okay.
So always help us in those days.
Okay.
That look, whatever other people in front of you can do, you can do better. So focus right from school. You can't afford to fail in the school. You can't afford not to go to the university because you have a focus. That look, if nobody in the family is well, at that time there are few graduates in the community. So and I happen to be one of them in my own family. So it was a passion that must not be missed. Yeah.
Otumba, you mentioned that meeting your wife was divine, but you never mentioned how divine it was. You just went through it briefly. We want to know how divine.
Yes, like I said, I was rapt to marry then,
Okay.
and I was transferred to Port Harcourt. And luckily for me, or luckily for her, where I was staying, she has an uncle there then. So she visited the uncle, and one of my friends, my colleagues, saw her. Said, He called me Dio. I said, Dio, see a fine girl around here. I said, oh, where is she? So we invited her.
Okay.
That's why the talking started. And we met that day briefly, and we talked that day briefly. And we lost contact for another 2 years.
Wow. That is the divine part.
That's the divine. So after 2 years, I relocated from that house, and she came, I think, from the school, and tried to locate me. And when she came, through one of my friends to locate my house, and that spirit said, somebody is coming, and that's your wife. I heard that voice vividly.
Wow.
Said, that's my wife coming. So I never knew who was coming.
Wow.
But when the person came, happened to be her.
Wow.
And that's how the journey started.
Okay. We can answer the divine connection.
Yeah.
We can answer the divine connection. So we've seen the Nigerian situation and the youth's involvement in different evil practices. Can we say the youth of these days are heading towards the right or wrong direction?
There's no right or wrong direction. Everything depends on the individual.
Okay.
When we grew up, like I said, you see the pattern from school to farm, farm to church, and you don't have money. So if really you want to go to the left or to the right, you have the choice. But everything, when I was going to secondary school, leaving the village to the secondary school in Cavados, the first word my father told me then was that I don't tell money till once a year. That means remember the son of whom you are. So, and that one keep on ringing bell in my mind there. So to do evils is very difficult because you remember that word.
Okay.
But nowadays, so many things happen. Drinking, smoking, and taking hard drugs. I think that's and also moving with so many friends that have no focus.
Okay.
Because in those days, that's why I was drinking there with friends around. We used to drink. But at the same time, we know that we have a focus where we are going.
Okay.
We must study and pass. We cannot afford not to pass because we don't have money to waste or money to repeat. So all those things matters a lot. So, but nowadays, maybe because of the background or because they have so much money with them, which they didn't work with, they can actually buy drugs. So many drugs nowadays. So God will help us. Thank you very much. I think my message for the Okun people is, no matter who you are, you must try to to make a mark in whatever profession you have chosen. As an IT person, we strive to be the best. So and that has guided us. And whatever you do, try to have that word integrity. In my company, we used to say, remove integrity, then there's no seedmark. Seedmark is the name of my company.
Okay.
So once the integrity is not there, there's no seedmark. That means the company is not there. So we try to do things that we will be able to say, yes, we did it, irrespective of who was there then or not. So, and I want to tell the Okun that we need to come together. As Okun people, we have professionals, we have educationally, we have several professors, we have great politicians, but we need to come together and speak with one voice. So, and that individualism, I think that's the only problem we have. We need to come together in unity to foster the progress of Okun together. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, do you have a favorite music?
I have a lot of them.
Which is your favorite?
Any Christian gospel music.
Okay.
So
can you dance?
Oh, okay.
Can you dance?
I will try my best.
So can you dance for us?
Dancing is just...
So up next is the dancing time.
Message for Nigeria.
You can see that my guest can dance very well, so we know that he can dance. Thank you very much. It's been an exciting episode with Otumba APS. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you for coming on the program despite your busy schedule. We appreciate it. We'll be discussing with Otumba Arogundade Peter Sunday, popularly known as APS, on Omoko of the Week. I've been your host, Victoria Yahaya Okupale. Thanking you for watching and have a very good day.
Thank you. God bless you.